give you an example of a voter being really satisfied. I remember way back in 1992, okay, Rawlings made all the streets in Kumasi asphalt everywhere. You know what the Kumasi people said? Would the gold cry, even if you come and paint the streets, we'll go against it. So I don't think that people should be linking.
I see.
Votes to development in any way.
I see. And today the party is trying to retrace itself back to the NPP of old.
Yeah.
And one of the things that, they did earlier this year was that report on why the 2024 election outcome was what it was. As a member, you don't know what is in that document.
No.
Why? Is that a good thing?
Even not as a member, I'm a common floor member now. Even as a top executive, this is not the first time these things have been done. I never saw any of those documents. That's another issue. Because the problem is that when you do your research, it's very important that you turn it into policy, break it down, and then let people see what it is. But you are holding the thing like formerly in the Roman Catholic Church, it was only the Roman father who held the Bible. And it was even in Latin. So nobody could understand. If he told you that you have to strip yourself naked, you would do it because that's what God says. Nobody reads it until it was translated into English and we all started reading. You can't do such an exercise and never, all the time. It's not only this time. All the time, you don't tell people what is in it.
Which means that a lot of you will then be going into this reconciliatory journey blind because you haven't been told exactly what the committee that investigated the loss found.
What is reconciliation? Madam, let me tell you something. This whole world is about interests. You and I can unite when our interests align. So we can be friends today, can be enemies tomorrow. Enemies today, friends tomorrow. It's all about interest, whether you accept it or not. Madam, until we can assure our people that their interests, regardless of how varied, and some of them it's not about money. If they work for you, you will give them something. There can be no unity. There has to be a unity of purpose. That's why we are united in Christ. Because he has promised us something. He says, if you are civil towards each other, if you do A, B, C, D, I'm going to reward you. And that is the reason why, even though you would want to do something to your fellow man, you listen to him because there is a reward somewhere for those who stay away from vengeance and leave it to. So you cannot run away from that. Every single institution, I have managed institutions at very top. I have founded companies across the world. I've run companies in other countries. And I'm telling you that the first thing you do as an HR expert, and I have an MBA, the first thing you do as an HR expert is to make sure you deal with motivation. And that comes largely with a compensation package.
And so the leadership now has got it wrong.
Until it is done. From where I was embedded. I was not on the bus. A lot of them were on the bus, air conditioned. I was not. I was embedded. I was with the people. And I'm a PhD researcher. So I see, I observe, I document, and I know what to do with it. So I am telling you that every single person out there who stays away from dealing with the structure, the fundamental, which is that people feel that when the party comes to power through their efforts, they get absolutely nothing out of it. Why should they die for the party? And that is the reason why in Ashima, on the day of the election, for half of the polling stations, we didn't even have polling agents. You know why? First they said they would charge $350 to sit there. No, $500. We said $350. They refused to. And when we even brought them the $500, they said they were not even interested in working for the party anymore. And that is how bad it got. So I don't even understand what is going on. You need people who will get back, step back, and say, hey, this is very structural, okay? We're dealing with human beings here, not animals, okay? So we need to understand that certain things must be in place for them to rise above petty and unite in purpose. Purpose means regardless of who becomes a flag bearer, they are going to put that person there because there's a system in place, transparent enough, institutionalized, that is going to take care of them. And it's not always about money. It's not always about contracts. I have seen people who just want to be recognized.
But that's the thing. The party statement tells us that, look, this move we are doing is towards unity. You are saying that before you get to that point, they should have been doing these things that you have just spoken about. which means that what they are doing now will not work.
No, it won't work. I don't care what anybody says. Even Jesus Christ cannot convince me to be good if he takes away that reward that I'll go to heaven and sit on the right-hand side of God and inherit mansions. Would you? I mean, there are many people who hold themselves and discipline themselves largely because of the promise. And the promise is sure. It is secure. You know, because God has given you that promise and God never changes. So you are very, very sure that whatever God says today, God will definitely honor the promise. And that is why you stay away from things that God says you should stay away from and unite in the faith. That is why people do that. And so it's very fundamental to anything we do.
Reward is a good
Absolutely,
motivation.
that's what you do. It's one of the things that you do to motivate people. You need to recognize them through reward compensation. I'm telling you. Unless those guys have not worked it out, they understand. If they don't, then they need to step aside. Because now the thing needs to be re-engineered and restructured. And if it has to be, that's one of the people who really understand, who have the background, and who have done these things in the political party context. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. And I don't care what anybody says. I was there. I sat there. I saw the failings. Another friend of mine told me that even in Kaswa, on that day, there were 12 police stations that the NPP didn't even have police agents for. That is a problem. That is a problem. There were places where, even though we had 5 executives at the police station, we got 0. It's a big problem. It is a big, big problem. What we have is huge. So we need serious people who have what it takes to first diagnose, understand it, and then the tools and ability to mobilize people to make it happen. But it has to start with you assuring every single one of the people out there, regardless of how varied their expectations are, or how diverse they may be. And that's a very, very Herculean job. You have to set up a system. You can only do that when you systemize things. You set up a system, and that system then assures them, not you, because you can die tomorrow. You need to have such a thing in place. Not anybody can do it.